I've been going to the gym for 3 years as a teenager, and there's just one tactic that I know that nobody does, absolutely nobody does, that will make or break your gym progress that you'll make either in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years of lifting. If you want to separate yourself from the competition, stand out a little bit, have that marginal gains, the edge over your competition within the gym of building muscle. You may have a competition with your friends about who can make the most muscle, or you just want to make a great physique and stand out from the rest. Obviously, do the do the basics, do the fundamentals of go to the gym, eat healthy, eat clean. You've heard that advice a million times before, but today we're going to talk about why a lack of presence can ruin your workouts and the importance of being mindful, present, and meditation can have on your fitness journey and your ability to grow a physique as a whole. Now, I've been meditating now for over 50 hours easily, maybe even over 100 hours of meditation in my life. Think about that for a second, 50 to 100 hours. That is a long time to sit there still with your thoughts. And after doing that consistently over a few years, I can tell you that it has made a significant difference to not only my life in general, but the gym as well. I've come to you with this story today because I was in the gym the other day. I was hitting squats on a rack, and I was kind of in the corner of the gym at the front, and to the left of the rack is the dumbbell rack. So obviously you've got a squat rack here, a squat rack here, then you've got the dumbbell rack there, then obviously loads of benches in front of the dumbbell rack, as you would see in any normal gym. And I went at like 3:30 when kids are back in school. So typically in my area, a lot of the kids would like to just come straight from school, straight to the gym. And in my gym, it's kind of weird. It's like they can only book from like 3:30 till 4:30. So if you want to go to the gym as like a 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old, you have to book at this specific time only. So you can only go to the gym from say 3 to 5. So I was in the gym and I see all these kids fucking rushing with their school uniforms still on, sweating as it is already when they turn up to the gym. And then they come into the gym dressed in their fucking Monterex fucking tracksuits or whatever. And I'm looking over, I'm like impressed. I'm like, it's refreshing, it's happy to see that teenagers are getting into the gym, they're focused on their body, they want to build a great physique just like me and you want to as well. And I look over, I see this one kid literally sat here on a bench in front of a dumbbell rack with like a 6 kg weight, curling like this, and he's not even looking at the dumbbell. He's not even looking at his arm. And you may ask, like, what else he could be possibly looking at? Well, he's got his other knee up, he's got his left hand on his knee, with his phone in his hand, scrolling with one hand, not even looking, doing this. Like the most minimal rep ever, just scrolling on his phone, scrolling on his phone, scrolling on his phone. And that was just a clear example. I was literally just about to say, I know that's an extreme example, but these days it's not an extreme example. Most people's attention spans, most people's dopamine addictions are so bad that this isn't an extreme example anymore. You'll see this quite often in many gyms. I know a story of someone doing back extensions and scrolling on the way down. I've seen people stick their phone onto like a cable and just scroll as they're doing their exercises. And that will ruin your physique. The version of you that goes in there with genuine intention, thought behind it, you're genuinely focusing on everything that you're doing, is going to make 1,000 times much more progress than the person of you that goes in there mindlessly and scrolling on their phone while doing it. You're not pushing yourself to a failure, you're not training difficultly, because you know as soon as you get uncomfortable, you will stop doing the exercise because you won't be thinking about achieving failure, getting the burn, etc. You'll be too busy thinking about, oh my god, social media, or whatever else you're focusing on, which just lacks in importance. You're much more likely to not push past your boundaries when you're focused on something else. When you're having fun, it makes the difficult, painful experience so much more painful in contrast, because you're already experiencing something that's not painful, it's actually pleasurable. So you see how the contrast makes this more painful thing so much worse in your own mind, because the difference of it compared to the pleasurable thing is so much. So when you're experiencing something dopamine pleasurable like that, it's going to make the difficult, hard thing that you know you have to do to make progress so much more difficult for you. It's like how it's a lot easier to have an ice bath when you've been having ice baths for the past few days or a week. However, if you've used to been having hot baths and it's a cold day, it's all of a sudden a lot more difficult to get into the ice bath, because not only is the ice bath more difficult because it's a cold day, so that uncomfortable thing is now even more uncomfortable, but it's the fact that you've been used to having pleasurable hot baths. Now the difference between the two is even larger, so that's why it's more difficult to overcome frictionally. It's the exact same thing in the gym. When you're experiencing something pleasurable, you don't want to then put yourself through an unpleasurable thing in comparison, because it seems so much more difficult. So you're already less likely to train till failure. You're already less likely to push yourself to the actual limit, to where the point where you'll need to build muscle. You're less likely to do that. You're less likely to build muscle with that pleasurable thing in front of you. The second point that I'm going to make is that it also ruins intention. Now, I talk about this a lot in my course. Top link in the description, by the way. It is the best thing I've ever made. It's a guide to make the greatest physique that you will ever achieve. If you want to skyrocket your gains, you want a personal tips from me and a community of guys that are just like you, just want to build a good physique and a fast track to do that, top link in the description is where you'll have to be. Have an intention, right? Most people don't understand what this means, and this basically just means like thinking about the outcome that you want during your workout. This is something that I've come up with recently. When you're able to focus and think about not only the method that you're doing, but the outcome that you want from it, you're able to notice the cues that you do to have better form, to have better like mind muscle connection, to have a better workout. If you're thinking to yourself, right, on the set, I want to sweep my shoulders out for lat raises, make sure that I'm pulling with my shoulders and almost not even acknowledging my hands are there, they're just there to connect the weight, and instead I'm pulling with my shoulders, I'm sweeping outwards and round like you would. If you're thinking about that, have an intention for that and thinking, if I train like this with this intention, then I will get better gains in my shoulders and my side delts. That's going to get you better gains. It is that simple. And when you are unable to focus, when you are mindless within the gym, you will not have this intention. Your dopamine receptors will be too fried. Your mind will be wandering about something else. You may even be scrolling your phone, which is a constant distraction. These constant distractions will then prevent you from being able to put yourself in this mode of presence where you can understand and have intention properly. When you're distracted, you're not going to be there being like, oh, if I sweep my shoulders out, you're just going to be like, oh, I can't wait to get this set over because I've got this to do after. Oh my God, that girl's walked past it. Yeah. Whatever comes to your mind. You're not focusing on your true sets and your true workouts. Now, by all means, be social, speak to people on your rest breaks. However, when it's time to do it during your set, take it seriously, because that's where the muscle is built. And having intention is super important. For example, have an intention to make sure to bring your elbows together on a bench press. Some people say that rather than just thinking about pressing the bar because it goes everywhere, think about bringing your elbows together. Focus on where your feet are planted so you're stable for leg drive. All these different things that you have the intention of will improve every set and improve the gains that you get from each set. It is that simple, because you'll cue yourself on having perfect form, and you'll also cue yourself to have good tempo, and you'll also cue yourself to have the correct mechanical tension and mind-muscle connection. That'll all lead to the best gains that you've ever had. So before anyone says that there's no study on like actually having intention makes you bigger, it helps with the things that have been shown to help make you bigger. It helps with obviously having better form, having better tempo, mind muscle connection, all these things that I've been told that will make you have better gains. Intention helps with every single one of them. So it's truly, truly, truly a powerful tool that I cannot underestimate. Cannot underestimate. Because when you go into the gym and you're mindless and you're wandering and you're not focusing on the session at hand, it's so easy to slip away from you. It's so easy to just lethargically half-arse a set. It's so easy to just skip that exercise if you're not feeling like it. And having intention can stop these things. So when people come up to me and ask, like, how do you stop skipping workouts? And how do you, like, if there's an exercise at the end of the workout and you're really tired and you can't be bothered, how do you actually get that done? It's having intention. It's having the intention and thought of being like, I want this outcome, so I have to do this. Being focused, being dialed in, it makes me so much more unlikely to skip my workout. Because I'm in a flow state. I'm probably enjoying myself more because I'm in that flow state. I feel the effects of tiredness less because I'm thinking more about the outcome. I want you to think more about the outcome and having the intention of getting that outcome, then you'll be more motivated to achieve that. And then that way you're more likely to do that last exercise that you didn't really feel like it. When you're mindless, you kind of, you're going through the motions, you're not feeling great anyway. And if you're not feeling great anyway, then you look at the exercise that maybe it's one of your least favourite, you look at the exercise and just like, nah, I'm not feeling that. You go home. Whereas a vision you with intention will be like, right, I fucking hate calf raises, but I have that goal to have bigger calves, and if I do this properly now, then I will get bigger calves, and then you'll go over and do it. It's that same thing. And plus, truly knowing that you've done a hard set correctly with the right intention, remind yourself of the correct form when you're doing the exercise, will just make you enjoy it more. You'll be more proud of yourself, more motivated, and then you won't skip exercises in your workout routine as well, because you'll be more proud and more motivated to carry on doing the same thing. The vision of you that's proud of yourself for doing what they do and are happy that they're making progress is so much more likely to carry on doing that thing. You're not going to be like, yes, I just did that amazing set, let's fucking go now, I'm going to skip that one. No, you're going to be, yes, I did an amazing set with my intention, now let's go on to the next one, let's do it again. So having that intention will then obviously make you less likely to skip more workouts and more exercise at the end of your workouts. The next point that I've got for you is that not having mindfulness and succumbing to the addictions of your phone specifically will actually make you more anxious. Now, this can happen in or outside the gym, but usually when people are not mindful, it's because they are scrolling using short form content on their phone, and doing this in the gym specifically will actually cause you to be more anxious, because you can see anything on there. You can see, I don't know, like harmful rules that make you feel ill. You could see people that look better than you that give you like anxiousness and body dysmorphia. People younger than you that look better than you feel guilty about that. And all these different negative emotions are going to put you in the incorrect emotional frequency to have a good workout. To have a good workout, you need to be hype. You need to be in high arousal mode. This is why when people say, mums can lift cars off their children. I know it's an extreme example, but this is why people say that. It's because they're in such a high arousal state, they're able to exert that much force. And it's the same with you in the gym, obviously, at just a less extreme example. The more arousal you have, the more ability you have to exert more force, so therefore the better workout you'll have. It's that simple. And when you're scrolling because of your dopamine addictions or your lack of mindfulness, you're not going to be able to keep that high arousal. You're going to be worried, you're going to be anxious because you've just seen someone that looks younger than you, that looks better than you. You're also going to be distracted more and have longer rest breaks, which are going to inhibit your ability to make gains. You're taking 5-10 minutes on a rest break instead of the 3-4 minutes on an isolation exercise that I recommend. And before you know it, you've had like an hour and a half gym session, done 2 exercises, and you're knackered for some reason, and then you're wondering why you don't want to carry on. It's because you've exhausted yourself out by taking too many rest breaks, not doing enough sets quick enough. Or because of your lack of mindfulness by using your phone in the gym. So I'd say, if it's possible, stop using short form content full stop, and especially in the gym, because it will just waste time and change your emotional frequency. And the final point You've heard me ramble on about mindfulness for 15 minutes now. Now you're just wondering how to achieve it. How do I get there? How do I meditate? And every time someone brings this up, I always say, think of it as like a 4-step program, like it's going round in a square. Because that's what meditation is. It's a loop. It's a recurring process that you can use. I always like to think of it as each square that you make is a repetition. And the more repetitions that you do, the better you are at mindfulness. It's that simple. So we're going through the repetitions now. Sorry about that, bro. I want you to sit there and originally focus on something. For many of us, it'll be the breath. So focus on something in this present moment, like the breath, for example. So you sat there. The only thing you're focusing on is your breathing patterns at this specific moment in time. That's step 1. So that's the here. Then, eventually, your mind will wander. This is step 2. Your mind will wander. Most people don't understand this when they come to talking about meditation today. Meditation doesn't work for me because my mind wanders. Your mind is supposed to wander. This is part of the step process. So you focus on the breath, your mind wanders. Step 3, you actually realise that your mind's wandered. So eventually, and as you get better at mindfulness, the skill will come back quicker. These periods of times when mind is wandering will be shorter. You'll notice, shit, I wasn't thinking about breath, I was actually thinking about that girl that messaged me this morning. Fuck. And step 4 is focus back onto the breath, and you're back on the breath. So you see how that works? Focus on the breath, mind wanders, notice that your mind's wandering, focus back on the breath. That square loop is 1 repetition. And the more repetitions of that you can have, the more mindful you'll be. It's that simple. That's my steps to meditate. And if you want more advice like this, then I suggest buying my course, bro. It's the best thing that could ever happen to you for your physique.